Have you been watching the news? Women are biting at their bridles all around the world, unable to accept this new America as the future for all girls. But the men in their saddles pull back on their reins, saying, "Be grateful, we're great," as they point to women in chains, but out the other side of their mouth shouting, "Make America great again." We're so focused on winning, so tell me why we're willing to settle for saying we're not the bad guys. We so eagerly point to countries where women suffer more, while we objectify our women and call the others whores. They say, "Be grateful, at least you can drive." Well, I'm waiting for the day they say you're lucky, you're alive. They say things are good enough here, shut your mouth, be satisfied. Well, until we're all free, we're all still just property. And it's hard to feel grateful when your rights are signed by 10 suited men in a room with an axe to grind. No, I am not satisfied. But this nation was founded by the chronically unsatisfied. Men and women set out for motherlands with stars in their eyes and hope in their hands. 50 stars to be exact, but who's counting? It's a dizzying hypocrisy when studying the history of Louisiana purchases in native lands and thievery. Why weren't the Pilgrims satisfied? When they needed more land from native hands, they pried. But hey now, they should be satisfied? With their tiny island reservations in the great sea of red, white, and blue, that are landlocked like handcuffs locked around the wrists of the people who were robbed of the very lands they loved, to feed the insatiable hunger of the American dream. They who planted seed for the crop were denied the cream, and you believe that they should be satisfied? No, I am not satisfied. Fast forward to the college boys who were not satisfied with consuming girls' bodies with just their eyes, who scream, "I can't be blamed, don't you see her thighs called my name, she wanted me." And the judge proclaimed, "He can't be blamed, it's in his blood, that rugged, red-blooded white American son. He's following in the legacy of the founding breed and claiming pussy as his manifest destiny." And I agree, it's just today's reflection of a long history of imperialistic dissatisfaction being met with patriotic reaction. And as the story goes, it's step 1, see what you want. Step 2, take it. Step 3, whitewash the victim's history, black, blue, and bloodied till it shines up nice and pretty in the colors of our country. We are all the recipients of indirect benefit, of a labor of a people acquired with the whip. White faces look earnestly, full of pure intention, saying, "I'm one of the good ones. We paid good, kind attention. We gave them books to read and enough to eat. Why weren't they more grateful of our generosity?" Well, perhaps they would be, if they were free. A dark stain on our nation's history. Reparations paid with coin earned for free, like Robin Hood twisted, more like Robin the Hood. Steal from the great-grandma to pay the great-grandson, so we good? No. I am not satisfied. And now I turn my sights to you, Mr. 45. Can't you see that you owe your golden towers to those in iron collars, and your live-in baby swaddler that starches your crisp white collar that makes you think that you can holler at the blue collars? If you only worked harder, you could have a life like me. If you only were smarter, you could have a wife like me. If you only were a scholar, you could have power like me. And as you consider raising walls to keep America safe, on the same borders that once defined this place as a home of all immigrants, religion, and race, Mr. President, if I have observed correctly, though no truth can be taken from your words directly, it seems as though your choice to build walls and spout lies is evidence that you, Mr. Great Again, are actually quite satisfied with the way things are and your lot in life, and you don't want to jeopardize all that by acknowledging anyone's strife. Well, as you strive to make America homogenous again, I'll continue to imagine what it would be like to really win. To be the leaders of the free world in practice, not just in phrase, and every single time I'm told not to question, to raise my hand and say, "No, I am not satisfied." And while you turn back the clocks and tell us to be quiet, and take to the media to rebrand protests as riots, I guess that means we're getting under your skin. Well, it's not very hard. You know, it's really quite thin. There's only one truth, and you have two choices. When you look around and hear the voice of a woman that worked for years but was passed over for a raise because she had a child to raise, and that doesn't pay. In this country, there's only one way to break the glass ceiling: either act like a man or get out the damn way. So here are your choices, Mr. President. Do you think we want to be the second tier? Choice 1, do you acknowledge a broken system? Or choice 2, do you believe that you're superior? Well, I am not satisfied with my choices, but you are stuck with those two. Don't you see the argument's the same every single time someone questions why for every dollar given they only get a dime? And why for every man in a board seat there's a woman at home? And why despite our equal voting our new regime is monochrome? Well, I want more for my daughters than the scraps that they are thrown. And no, I will never be satisfied until we are all satisfied.